Well, more than 100,000 doctors in Australia currently have the right to call themselves a cosmetic surgeon without necessarily having undergone the specific training to be competent and safe. Around 500,000 Australians spent at least $1 billion on cosmetic surgery year on year, which is more per capita than in the United States, and many practitioners are taking advantage of this rapid growth, resulting in damaging and dangerous consequences. Dr. Patrick Tansley is the president of the Australasian College of Cosmetic Surgery and Medicine, and he joins me now live to discuss. Doctor, appreciate your time this afternoon. Firstly, can you explain to us the current situation? How can any doctor call themselves a cosmetic surgeon?
Well, thank you for inviting me on the programme. Good evening. Yes, I can. Cosmetic surgery is a relatively new practice in its modern form. It's only been around for about 30 to 40 years. And as a consequence of that, it hasn't formed part of the traditional medical education programmes of most of the traditional medical specialties. As a consequence of that, lots of practitioners with varied training backgrounds have started to undertake it. And society has moved faster than legislation has followed it. As a consequence, there are broadly three groups of practitioners in Australia who currently undertake cosmetic surgery. One are fellows of the college I represent, of the Australasian College of Cosmetic Surgery and Medicine. They have a mandatory 2 years of training and education leading to a fellowship specifically in that area of practice. There are also plastic surgeons who are educated through the Royal Australasian College of Surgeons, some of whom have some training in cosmetic surgery, some of whom don't. And there are a third group of practitioners who generally have zero cosmetic surgical training. Now, it's quite legal for any of those practitioners to call themselves a cosmetic surgeon, but from a patient's point of view, they don't know which one they are going to get. And so it forms a lottery as to which type of practitioner a patient will select.
So are there currently any national standards to regulate this?
That's the problem. At the moment, there are not, and that's what we would like to introduce. And I have advocated to government the introduction of a section under the current national law, Section 98, for the endorsement of an area of practice. And what that means in simple terms is that if the stakeholders came together under the direction of the government, we agreed a set of standards on a national basis, and then those practitioners who met those standards, whether they're a cosmetic surgeon, whether they're a plastic surgeon, or any other type of surgeon wishing to undertake cosmetic surgery, once they had met those standards and then were endorsed, they could be placed on a public register independently administered by the regulator AHPRA, and the public would then be able to see with clarity and transparency which of those doctors had been trained and accredited in cosmetic surgery versus who has not, and that would make the public safe.